Hey, this is Greg from 3D Printed Solid. This is installation instructions for the blockhead front end for the Prometheus. I have all the colors represented here. So it's three color combinations. It's white, black, and orange. You can get white with black, black with white. The six options that you see here will be available on the website. If you want a different color because you want to match your God Hopper, well, you can just send us a message. And I'm thinking about putting a custom color listing inside or option inside the listing, so maybe I'll do that as well. But in order to install this, it'll come all together. I don't have this glued on right now, and I don't think this is glued in either at this point. But this will all come as one piece, basically. And in the very bottom, there'll be a 3/32 set screw. That when you slide this on, you just snug that up and lock it in place. So, in order to get this on here, you have to remove both front sling mounts. So on my other one, I took the entire case apart, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to show you here how to take this entire the two halves, the body halves apart, so that you can pull these out in one piece, and then if you ever want to go back and put them back on, it's just easy as reinstalling them. If you don't want to go through all that removing of the case, you have to cut these. You have to just cut this here and cut it here and just discard it. But that's your option. But what we do install inside here as well is you'll put the front end on, and we also have a custom sling mount that gets mounted on here, so that you still can use the sling. And you can still use the grab handle in the front here, and also the skids on the bottom. All the stock original equipment will work with the blockhead front end. So first thing we're gonna do is disassemble the halves, and there's quite a number of screws here, but you can see them. There's no screw in there. This is a brand new gun, too. Okay, so this is a little tricky to get apart, but it's usually not too bad. You want to try to keep all the components down in there as best you can. Just lay this aside. Sometimes you'll have some things sticking in the top, sometimes the things will be sticking in the bottom. Okay, once you have the two halves separated, one screw that holds the flywheel cage in this whole assembly, and you want to remove that. And then you just lift up, hold the case down with your right hand, and grab this assembly, this upper assembly, and just lift up a little bit. And then what you can do is you can swing these up out of the way. Get that up off of there. And then you pull straight out on this. So it's a little tough to get out, but there's two clips, one on each side here, that hold it in, and you have to spread them apart maybe with a screwdriver if you want to, but it does come out. So it's 2 screws to get this upper section apart. Okay, you should be able to lift that off. Set that aside. And this is the screw for the main assembly. And there's there's 6 more to separate this. The 3 bottom ones are the long screws, and the 3 top ones are the short screws. You just want to separate these 2 pieces. And it'll come apart, and this is what it'll look like. On the one side you have this spring with this catch mechanism over here, and this is for your this slides into to lock the hopper in place, and this is your release mechanism for the hand grip, to put the hand grip back and forth in. Okay, so make sure that the small spring and this is in this position, and there's a small cam, this piece right here, small cam. The hole in the cam goes around this back pivot, and then if you take this off, there's a boss on this side that goes into that slot. So make sure that if these parts spring apart on you, that you put it back in this configuration. So you want to remove these black by just pulling them off, these black covers, and then simply take that out. And if you want to label it the left and the right side, so that when you go to put them back in, you put them back in the right way, because if you put the left and the right, of course it won't work. So alright, so you can set those pieces aside, and if everything stays together here, we're just going to reassemble that back together. Just like that. Okay, now that's back together. You want to push on that and make sure that that's working, and push on that to make sure that that's working. This is where we'll put our custom sling mount a little bit later in the video. Just want to reassemble this back into here. Just push it back in, so you're gonna have to lift up on this until that that post is out of the assembly, and you want to slide this in until these 2 notches clip in place like that, and then you can slide this back on to that post. This hole has to go back onto that post, and this hole here has to go back onto the post below it. So you may have to push those just to align them up so that it goes back in. And you'll notice that when it goes back in, it should be all the way down against, and if it's not going down against, you need to wiggle it around a little bit like that to get it in place. And you'll look right here to make sure that this orange part of the assembly is down against the white case, and you put your screw back in there. Okay, and the last thing is putting this back on. Okay, so that's it. Make sure everything's back into place. Okay, ready? Alright, so I moved this part from sticking in this half of the shell to that half of the shell. It's going to hold those wires down without me trying to get in there with a screwdriver and keep them from getting pinched. Okay. Okay, now that the two halves are together, you can get your blockhead front end. Now this again will be all glued together, but it slides on just the same way that the Persis front end does, and then it attaches similarly. There's a 3/32 hex key set screw. You make sure you put a little bit of tension on it, and then just snug this down. I'm not going to tighten it in all the way. You'll get the picture. It's not going to come off. You don't have to be too aggressive with it. This is how it will look. So you got two pick reels on the side, one on the bottom, just like the Persis blockhead front end. And you'll get your choice of, if you want to use the stock hopper, that's up to you, but you also have some other options. That's the all white Stormtrooper look. We also have this one is completely done. It has the sling mount on, it has the grip on the front and the skids, but this is a white with black stripes, large god hopper. The black and white stripes design. Okay, so the last thing is this hole where the two stock sling mounts were. We're going to use that for our custom sling mount. This comes with the front end as well, so you don't have to purchase that separately. It's simply two screws. You slide it in place. And then you can attach whatever the stock sling mount will work as well. Now that's it. It should be listed up on the website in a few days or so. Thanks for watching.